Hello everybody, Mason here at Spampinato Guitars. Today we are going to talk about truss rod adjustments, how to add or take out relief of a neck. Or in this case, this neck is going to be backbowed, which means that this neck is going like this. And so we're going to add quite a bit of relief to this neck. This is going to be the first thing that I check when a guitar comes in. As well as it should be the first thing that you check if you're in a guitar store and wondering why guitar's not playing properly. Check that amount of relief in there. Now attached, I did a spreadsheet of how to measure the relief and what kind of relief we like. So by looking at that, you'll see that we like 0.06 of an inch of relief at the 6th fret, if you're measuring in between the 1st and the 12th fret. So like I said, this is already a backbowed neck, but I'm just going to demonstrate that. Got our good 12-inch straight edge here. Putting it on the neck here. There's rocking. So that means there's negative relief in this neck, actually. There's no use in me even putting a feeler gauge under the 6th fret because I know that there's going to be absolutely no space there. So neck adjustment is going to be your starting spot for any time you're setting up a guitar, or in that final setup stage if you're building, or this is going to be a starting spot for the overall setup of the guitar. Now we have to talk about what way you turn the truss rod to add relief or take relief out. By turning the truss rod clockwise, you're going to be flattening the neck out. By turning the truss rod counterclockwise, you're going to be loosening it up so there can be more pull, adding more relief. So, as we know, this neck is backbowed. You're going to take, it's 90% of the time, or more than that even, a Allen wrench. You're going to see where your truss rod access point is. On this guitar, it's going to be here at the headstock. A lot of vintage guitars, you actually have to take the neck off, and it's going to be here towards the neck pickup of the guitar. Some of them you can access without taking the neck off, but unfortunately a lot of, especially vintage Stratocasters and Telecasters, you got to take the whole neck off, and it makes your process a little bit longer because you have to put the neck back on, check it, it's not where you want it, take it back off, make the adjustment, put it back on, check it, so on and so forth. Luckily we don't have to do that with this one. And so since this neck is backbowed, we're going to go counterclockwise on that adjustment. Find your Allen wrench that fits the nut. You're going to make sure you want to have a nice snug fit on that as well, because you can strip out these truss rod nuts and make your life a lot more difficult than it needs to be. So here, and I'd start with this. Keep the guitar tuned up to tension, because once you untune the strings, the neck is actually gonna flatten out more. So you want to do these adjustments while it's under tension, because that's gonna be the real-time relief that it's sitting under. So, and I'm gonna want to go counterclockwise, like I said, and you're gonna want to start with just a quarter turn at a time. If you need to move the strings out of the nut slot so you can turn the Allen wrench a little bit easier, that is quite all right. And in between each adjustment, bring the guitar back up to pitch, because that is going to indeed change with truss rod adjustments. And let's see where we're at. That rocking is gone. I'm going to pull my 0.06 of an inch feeler gauge out. 1st fret and 12th fret. Can't get that in there at all. Just go down a little bit to see where we're at. I can't get the 0.02 in there, or even the 1.5. So it tells us that we need to keep going. go ahead and do another quarter turn counterclockwise to add the relief. Tune to pitch. Same thing there. Let's check what our space is at the 6th fret. Still pretty flat. I'm gonna go another quarter turn. Starting to make some movement now. We got about 3/1000ths of an inch of relief now. So halfways to where we want to be. We want to be at that 6/1000ths mark. Another quarter turn. We're at 5/1000ths, so I'm just going to do a tiny little tweak to get to that 6/1000ths. Wonderful. And that 6/1000ths of an inch feeler gauge, 0.006. Fits. So that's the basics of adding relief or taking relief away in a truss rod. Really just two things to keep in mind. Clockwise, you're going to be flattening the neck out, taking relief away from the neck. Counterclockwise, you're going to be doing the opposite, adding relief.